Hello everyone, welcome back to Make the Music, and today we're continuing our Mixing 101 series. We went over reverb in the last video. Now we're going to talk about delay, and unlike reverb, delay is simply taking a sound and then repeating it after a certain amount of time. Where reverb kind of warps the sound, makes it sound ambient, spacious, and otherworldly. Delay is like doing that, just simply taking the signal and finding a way to delay it, and you can actually modify it in quite a number of ways. Just like reverb, delay works really well when you use it subtly in your mix and you understand the controls and apply it tastefully in context with the rest of the instruments. Now remember, I have a free guide called the Home Studio Toolbox, and this guide contains everything you need to start making music on your laptop. All the tools in there are 100% free. Also, you'll get access to all my free multi-tracks and samples. Just go to the description box down below and tell me where to send it. Anyways, let's get into the video. Once again, we're going to look at the lead vocal to help us give us a guide on how delay works, what kind of sounds we can employ, and what would work in the context of a mix. So I have a lead vocal here. This lead vocal has a delay sound on it. There's a number of different delays. You can have long delays, shorter delays. This is what's called a slapback delay. And a slapback delay is very common, especially on vocals. It's a very short delay sound, meaning it feels almost claustrophobic in a sense. You'll understand when I play the vocals. So here it is.
There's only torture in this wretched place.
It almost sounds like you're in a room that has no furniture in it, right? You're in a tight room and you're singing and all the sounds are reflecting back at you. That's kind of what a slapback delay is. And it's a really common delay to use on a vocal. And so here's some of the controls you have to understand when using delay. The big ones, just like we explored on the reverb, is a high pass and low pass filter, meaning filtering out certain frequencies that we don't want in that delay sound. For example, I have the low pass filter, meaning I'm letting the low frequencies go through, getting rid of the highs, is set to 3000 hertz. So anything below 3000 hertz is good to go. Anything above that got cut out of the sound. Notice what happens when I bring this up.
There's only torture in this wretched place.
You hear like all these high pitched frequencies, right? But when I brought it down, it started to filter the sound out. Same thing with the high pass. We don't want our slapback delay to sound too muddy. Now with this, you can determine the length of the delay, and it can be either in set time, milliseconds, or musical time. So if your track is fixed to a BPM, like this is 118 BPM, you can set it to 0.5 notes. So it's set to half an eighth note or 16th notes, right? So that way it's in time with my music and it feels right. And then we have a wet control knob. This is the stock delay that comes with Reaper, and it's set to -12.1. As I move the wet knob up, this is going to increase how much delay is on the track.
There's only torture in this.
So you can see it starts to sound absolutely ridiculous when I do that. And if I bring it down,
There's only torture in this.
no delay, right? So that's an example of a shorter delay sound. And Reaper, they have quite a few presets here. I started with the slap FB, and then I actually modified it to make it work for myself there. There's many other delay types of plugins. Let's bring in one that comes with the Slate pack, and that is the kilohertz delay, or the KHS delay. I know a lot of people use this one. Let's see what the stock sound sounds like and see if we can get it to work better with this vocal. Another thing is delay is most commonly used with vocals. Sometimes it's with guitars and synth pads, but I think delay is most commonly used with vocal. Like I said, some people use delay pedals for the guitar leads and things like that. And that is definitely common as well. But I think vocal is the most common thing to have a delay plugin. So let's listen to this. Okay, that sounds kind of cool, but also pretty ridiculous, right? So let's find a way to modify this to get this to sound correct in our mix. This has what is called a duck control. And if you read here, when duck is turned up, the output from the volume from the delay will automatically be lowered when the input volume is high. So that means that this will actually duck the delay sound or lower the volume of the delay as the vocal volume increases. So notice when I have it at 100%.
Somewhere in between the sentences.
Only when that vocal wasn't singing it cut out did you hear the delay. Other than that, it completely was removed. So the duck control can be good to give the vocal that upfront feel without it seeming like, oh, there's all this delay behind it and it's muddying up the sound, right? So I like using the duck control there. The tone, that messes with the low and high frequencies, giving it either a lower sound or higher sound. The feedback will cause the delay sound to feedback into the delay, and it'll give you this exponential, super long delay sound. It can be cool. This allows you to pan it. And this is our time meter here to mess with, just like we looked at the other delay plugin, how many milliseconds the delay is going to be, or we can set it to sync with our track. I'm going to select it to sync to our track. So it's 3/16 notes is what it's set to. I'm going to go with 2/16 here. Let's see what that sounds like. So it's still too long for my taste here. So let's do something like this. Let's turn the feedback down.
Somewhere in between the sends and the load.
That's a lot better. Let's listen in the context of the mix.
There's only torture in this wretched place.
That's actually not bad at all. And so I might turn the feedback up just a hair. And like I said, just like with any other plugin, we have a mix knob here. Also in Reaper, there's a default mix knob there. I'm gonna mess with this tone knob too.
There's only torture in this wretched place.
Okay, so turn the tone up and made it sound a lot brighter. This made it sound a lot darker. I like the darker sound here.
There's only torture in this wretched place.
A great thing to do sometimes is to layer different delay sounds. So that is a shorter slap delay. What if I also wanted a longer delay sound, right? So let's go to the KHS delay. Let's add a slap, but then let's add an ambient longer delay to this track as well. Let's see if we can get the two to mix together.
There's only torture.
Okay, so right now it sounds ridiculous because I have a delay going into a delay, but let's sync. Let's make the delay time much longer. Let's go 8/16. Turn down the feedback. Let's increase the duck as well, because we don't want this long reverb playing while the short reverb is. And let's make the tone a lot darker so it sits in the back of the mix.
There's only torture in this wretched place.
Okay, that was kind of cool. I want to go even longer than that.
There's only torture in this wretched.
Okay, so that's kind of a cool longer delay. Let's turn the feedback down even more. Let's duck the sound even more. I'm going to turn down the mix. And then those bounce controls, what it does is it causes the sound to bounce across the stereo field. It can be kind of cool. It can go from left to right and back again.
There's only torture in this wretched place.
I'm going to turn the mix knob down even more. Let's see if we can get both of these to work here.
There's only torture in.
Okay, we got that last tail there, but I think that works with the vocal. Let's listen in context.
There's only torture in this wretched place. The only way.
Okay, so I think that's kind of cool. So that's how to use delay in your mixes. For vocals, slaps, or even longer delays can work. And slap delay is also cool on guitars. I showed you some settings for that. Just like reverb, it's about being subtle, finding something that works well with the mix, and then filtering the sound to make it sound narrow and work with your track. So anyways, that's my video on how to do that. We got more mixing tips coming in the Mixing 101 series. Please like and subscribe to the channel to see more of the content. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.